It is the Zodiac Cow type that first debuted in Medarot R and making her first official debut into the game as a pullable model. It is MYM00 Many Milk, with a kit of Super Repair, Double Charge Repair, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Auto Repair, which passively restores a small amount of HP to all parts each turn. Now, pretty much right from start, it's very clear that Mini Milk's role on the field is not combat by any means necessary. Super Repair is essentially a much more efficient and stronger variant of standard repair. Much more HP will be given back to each part upon use, but you only get one charge of it. Charge Repair, on the other hand, will restore an amount of HP to a damaged part relative to your Metaforce charge. So arguably, I'd say, especially with a lot of builds where you want to try to factor in Metaforce sustain, Many Milk also is someone that can make use of that very easily, as the higher her charge goes, the more efficient her healing becomes. And Biped Legs also guarantee that she will have some pretty solid coverage on most terrains. With a mobility of 621, she unfortunately will not be going very fast, but with resist stats of about 1001 and 1239, she can tank hits decently well. Evade of 774 though is rather low, so it may be kind of hard for her to graze or successfully dodge hits. But even with that, she still is relatively tanky across the board. About 3,500 HP for that well-endowed head part, of course. 3,000 HP per arm, and about 3,550 for her legs, means that Many Milk can tank a hit pretty well without it severely hindering her or crippling her in battle. Plus, with only having one heavy part, which is her best form of repair, it does mean that she will have relatively decent coverage as well when it comes, even if her legs do end up being broken. As a pure set, however, I would have to rate her a pretty solid 5 out of 10, so not necessarily the greatest, because she does have that requirement for a Metaforce sustain to use her arms efficiently, but at the same time, not necessarily terrible either. So I'd honestly argue Many Milk would probably be more of a middle-of-the-road kind of healer, as in the right hands she could be absolutely fantastic, but in the wrong hands she really won't have a chance to do her job correctly or properly, and you may end up having to risk losing one or two parts before she can actually start healing efficiently. As mixed parts, on the other hand, I would rate her very equally at a 5 out of 10. Possibly even a 5.5 could be argued depending on how you decide to use her arms, in the sense that Charge Repair is probably one of the next most efficient forms of healing after Standard Repair, as the higher your Metaforce charge goes, the more efficient the healing will become.